What's that, Mouth? It's your boy Laughers I May, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy in New York for some reason, going straight to the wrestling ring, as y'all know how we do it. This is Just a Fan Wrestling, the review show of wrestling, and it's staying, just like Triple H said, Tori, we not going anywhere. Well, this show ain't. The other shows might be going somewhere.
I don't know if one Raw. I don't know if one OK SmackDown redeems it. We'll
I
see.
was just talking about in reference to this show going to the other channel that we got, Overall 99 Entertainment channel. So we'll send some stuff over here to tell y'all to go over there. But that's what they were referring to. I know Triple H said we ain't going nowhere. So I'm like, this show ain't going nowhere. Now the Casual Conversation show will go. So. But that's about it. How you doing, Dator?
I've been slowly dying. I had a sandwich maker try to poison me at Subway yesterday. I've been paying for it all day today. Lots of weed and Pepto-Bismol, but we're hydrated. We're gonna keep it moving.
Yo, listen, you my second co-host this week. This is sick. What's wrong with y'all?
Like I said, I think I think whoever made my sandwich at Subway, I must have done something back in the day, and they went and poisoned that shit. And I paid for it since like 6:30 this morning.
Yeah. As we stated, as y'all see the title, Vince might end our show. It just held off another week.
We'll see, man.
How do you think? What you think about SmackDown? Raw was terrible. We don't even talk about that. Y'all.
We're definitely going to talk about that because
Tori didn't heard me rant all week.
But SmackDown, it's not anything different. Like this is just like the old days. Vince is running Raw. It's horrible. Triple H is running SmackDown. It's tolerable. But, bruh, it's just very disheartening because the Raw after Mania is supposed to be this big thing. And it was a dumpster fire in the worst sense of the word. Not a cool dumpster fire where you and your friends are drunk and somebody accidentally throws a lit sparkler into the dumpster. It's not one of those dumpster fires. It's like homeless person hiding a dead body dumpster fire.
So I did basically put Vince McMahon in hell, and I thought that's all.
I'd rather him there than booking the wrestling I'm watching.
I did book him in. It's literally a thumbnail of him burning.
I would much rather Vince McMahon burn in hell than book any wrestling show that I'm currently watching. He's a 77-year-old man who is literally going through a fucking 3/4 life crisis.
That man did Bob Your Uncle joke in 2020.
Bruh, I told you as soon as I saw that segment, I told you that's exactly what the fuck that was. That's Vince's stupid humor. Vince's, bruh, he likes fart jokes and freaking the Kiss My Ass Club speaks for itself, bro.
But
Bob's Your Uncle is atrocious.
SmackDown kept continuity, unlike Raw. Matt Riddle went after the Bloodline, who ended his thing. I'm like, that makes sense. I know some people didn't like Matt
Randy Orton.
Matt Riddle went after. I'm like, why is Matt Riddle randomly going after the Miz when the Bloodline tried to end his career storyline wise? We know what happened.
I would say shout out to Matt Riddle finding sobriety though. That's always a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So I'm like, listen, that's what he should do. And when Randy Orton come back, he should go after the Bloodline too, whenever that is. Unfortunately, they said it's not. It looks like it's going to be still a good bit off, but they should go after the Bloodline. That's who put him out of business according to Sterling.
Yeah, but man.
So he's back in the he was in the main event.
Brock Lesnar flipped the whole audience off for Vince McMahon.
Cody was the IWC.
I swear they only did that because Brody Jr. was there. They were like, they were like, you think you're gonna get to see your favorite wrestler win at WrestleMania, kid? He even gave Brody Jr. the fucking weight belt.
Tori, can we talk about how extra Cody Rhodes was when he did that little fall? I gotta find the clip. I'm like,
are you talking about after he lost to Roman?
Yeah.
But just to sit in the corner. No, bro. He sold that shit though. I guarantee you, he found out the night of night 2 that he wasn't going to win.
They said he'd been on.
I believe that, but it sounds better if he just found out that night.
Which if Brock knew Cody should have probably won, because I'm like, Brock and Cody make sense.
No, bruh, like I said, look back at this. If this is Vince McMahon booking, look at how Vince booked Roman to go up against Brock time and time again until he did finally win and get the belt. And if you folks don't remember, that was one of the times where we hated Roman having the belt. He was not over. We were tired of what they they had to wait 3 years from after that was over before we would even tolerate Brock and freaking Roman being in the same ring again. And we still talked about how many matches they had before. I don't want to do that with Cody Rhodes. But with Vince in control, that is what's going to happen. We'll get to Backlash. We'll get to Backlash, and Cody will have his first rematch with Brock. He will lose it. We will go to the next pay-per-view, and he will lose again. He will then have a mild winning feud with some mid-carder that will then bring him back into the part-time path of Brock Lesnar, and he may finally eventually win by freaking WrestleMania 40.
Yo, that fall is so dramatic. Shout out to Cody Rhodes. That's the only thing I like doing Raw. That's the only thing I like doing Raw. Besides Roman sniffing weed from the dude in the front row, the only two things I like doing Raw.
Yeah.
Everything else sucked. Well, I take that back. That match with Street Profits and Sammy and Kim was good.
It was a Generico and Steed versus the Street Profits match, bro. We haven't seen it a whole bunch, but we know how good.
Basically, the only match on Raw too, so that's interesting.
So stupid. I think I don't know. I don't have any optimism left for WWE. I've got no optimism left for freaking AEW either. Tony Khan, if you were gonna let the guns come out to fucking Mini-Men, they should have won.
I don't care what nobody said. If you come out,
you should win automatic. If you are coming out to, and that's not Tony Khan. I bet you any amount of money, because we all know Warner Brothers is a subsidiary, has a record label that has most likely purchased, at least in some part, freaking 50 Cent's catalog. But bruh, it was such a sick opening though, and then for the ending of that, like, bruh, one of the most. I know we're getting off of events right now, but I'm just here to spit ire on the whole wrestling community at the moment because it's been a bit sickening. But bruh, why did we need a weird double roll up to end out FTR versus the Guns? It could have been Big Rig 1, 2, 3. Let's keep it moving. We're keeping them. We've got Jay White coming in. I have an extreme fear that they're just going to put Jay White with Juice Robinson and throw them into the tag division.
Probably. He ain't got no place to put him. Too many wrestlers.
He's got a fucking golden match against Kenny Omega that we've been waiting for since 2021.
But Kenny fighting the whole BBC.
The BCC. The BBC is a different organization.
Oh, I forgot that. We didn't invite them in? My bad.
I mean,
my bad. Brian Danielson, Claudio, John Moxley, Torres.
I wanted to ask you,
the BBC?
Have you seen any of the AEW? Have you seen any of the AEW reality show?
I saw clips.
I watched a little bit of it after Dynamite Wednesday.
I saw some clips that was dope. It ain't good as AEW.
No, but why do we continue to want to kill? Us wrestling fans do so much to try and suspend our disbelief. Why do you feel the need to throw the shit in our face over and over and over again? We know how the fucking sausage is made. We don't need it put on a loop in front of us. We still enjoy it. Like, I'm just.
You know what I like about the A&E one though? It's like old stuff that you probably.
The A&E is a docu-series.
Yeah,
this AEW shit, like A&E, like the rival series, A&E has done an amazing job. Whatever contract they struck up with WWE to do the documentaries on all these wrestlers, they've knocked that shit out of the park. Everyone has been good. You got the one about Dusty coming up, which would have meant so much more if Cody Rhodes had just won the championship. Wouldn't this docu-series This documentary episode about his father hit so much harder if he just accomplished the dream.
Tor, I was listening to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens thing. I'm like, this would hit a lot more if Roman actually lost.
Bruh.
I'm like, ain't nothing crumbling. Roman always the champ. Roman don't care about these other people. You think Roman actually cared they lost? Really? No. He's like, I'm the champ. I only care about me.
I would say he is the tribal chief.
They can lose all they want. He don't care. Remember when they first started, they lost all the time.
It just sucks because, bro, we are treading so lightly on the lines of just, I think, completely switching how good the bloodline has been these past 3 years and just turning it into something horrible. Because one thing that is
the Jim and
Jay thing, one thing that is constant in wrestling is that the story needs an ending. Nothing goes on forever. Even the Undertaker streak, though, do I still feel like it was a waste ending it for Brock Lesnar, who's already a super well-established star? Yes. But do I think that it needed to end at some point? Yes. Listen. But stories need endings, especially in a wrestling setting. And it's like we keep on trying to stretch it out and prolong it more and more. And it gets to the point where even the good parts don't fucking matter because it's just so monotonous.
Hey, Roman ain't beat God yet.
Listen, he's late. Vince McMahon already did it. If Roman wants my respect, go out there, hit Vince McMahon with the Superman punch and a fucking full-on spear. You can be champ for life. I know they're stretching this for 1,000 days, but when does it start when does it go from them stretching it to 1,000 days to them not wanting Roman to drop it at SummerSlam? Because the way it's set up, is that not the next big pay-per-view after Backlash?
We in the third inning. You got 6 more innings to go.
I hate baseball, bro. It's the most boring sport ever. Let's not compare wrestling to baseball. I wish Roman never would have did that shit. Fuck.
Yeah, I feel a little better because at least I got SmackDown.
Yeah. Fuck that SmackDown, bruh. What really? Matt Riddle came back. Fucking Rhea Ripley fucking cut a promo and fucking chased Zelina Vega off. Like, bruh. Fuck that. I was reading fucking the chapter 1080 of One Piece while the Brawling Brutes match was going on. I don't even know who won that shit, but I don't care because I still have a stale taste in my mouth from that bullshit we're calling a Raw after Mania.
We got the draft.
You know what? They should unify I was thinking about this, and this is going to sound mad misogynistic.
We got LA Knight.
Yeah, LA Knight. What's he going to do? Get a quick roll up? But what? Xavier Woods going to hit the Woods edge. Xavier Woods the only nigga who's got a signature move that's literally just a surprise roll up. Trash.
Why Xavier Woods get the straight?
Anyone that uses a surprise roll up for a fucking signature move. Why do you think nobody wants to be Xavier Woods in fucking goddamn 2K? Because you have to go in and change his fucking moveset.
Overall 99 versus up, down. Let's get it started.
Yeah.
Beef.
I cut a promo on any of them niggas. You give me enough weed and some time.
Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, Tyler Breeze is, bruh, don't get me started. This nigga got lowest rated legend ever. I stand on that. I've been playing 2K games, especially WWE, for a very long time, since before they were even 2K, back when it was like Raw versus SmackDown. And freaking, bruh, Tyler Breeze is the lowest rated legend character I've ever remember seeing. If there is another one, I would be surprised. I think his base rating is a 76. Like, come on.
Ethan Page, you got Hook beat Ethan Page.
Of course. Hook beat Ethan Page. Freaking now Hook's cool with Matt Hardy. Is Matt Hardy Chris Jericho now? And he's going to try and leech what little bit of freaking goodwill Hook has left with the fans for him and fucking Isaiah Cassidy.
So we need more leeches, bro. Old leeches.
Bruh. Wrestling. So first, I'm damn near done covering wrestling, bro. It's just because because where I fuck up with wrestling is I actually care. Because wrestling played a super important part of in my life, especially as a child. Watching wrestling, going to random indie wrestling shows kept me out of a lot more trouble than I could have been in. So wrestling holds a special place in my heart. But god damn, we are just hell bound on destroying whatever semblance of it's left. And I enjoy modern wrestling. I'm a fan of Kenny Omega. I'm a fan of Darby Allin. I'm a fan of freaking Sammy Guevara, even. And I hate his personality, and I dislike him even more after seeing him copping pleas to freaking Eddie on freaking the AEW reality show.
He said the reality show making pissing Tori off.
Bruh, it's making me so mad because we don't need that shit, bruh.
Tori, like, how am I supposed to take Sammy serious if in IRL copping please?
This nigga is just copping pleas left and right. You are not crazy, bruh. I hate to tell you. You just did not want Eddie to drop you on your head again, because that nigga is legitimately crazy.
Tori said his wrestling experience. I'm gonna see what happened Monday, because if not, Tori gonna be like we used to. I'm not watching Raw, so don't ask me what happened.
Yeah, I was about to say I have no problem skipping. I will damn near, bruh. I'm not going for this shit, bruh.
It might be on the background one more week.
It's that stark of a difference. Anyone who has been watching wrestling in the last year just saw a massive difference from what we have been getting from when Vince left to freaking this first night being Vince's first night being back. Even the worst Raws that Triple H booked are 20 times better than that fucking Raw after Mania.
But yeah, man, it was absolutely horrible.
But the SmackDown, isn't that that's where we want to go? It's SmackDown. Yeah. We started off with the Brawling Brutes, correct?
Yeah, really good. Imperium versus Brawling Brutes, a really good match.
While that was happening,
that was a really good match, by the way. But you know when you put them six in the ring,
the Brawling Brutes went over, correct?
Yes, Sheamus, Giovanni Vinci.
Giovanni Vinci, yeah, he used to be. Man, I don't know why they changed them niggas' name. Although the one that Ludwig Kaiser is a better name than he had in freaking NXT.
It is 100%.
But Giovanni Vinci, I think the other, I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but I feel like it was better.
Report: Vince was at the Eagles concert.
So yeah, of course. You know what? I bet Vince went up there and ripped up the whole set list of the Eagles and fucking tried to write it out for him and put the songs in the order that he wanted to hear them.
Well, that was a really good match.
I thought you were gonna say it was a really good concert. I was like, damn, you simulcast. You was watching Raw and the Eagles. SmackDown and the Eagles concert. Zelme, shout out to the Eagles, though.
Yeah, so Vince was at the Eagles concert. So we got a match that was long as all three matches on Raw combined, just about. They had 30 minutes of wrestling. This match went like 22 minutes. So shout out to them for having a longer match.
I hope Endeavor really was paying attention.
Shamrock said
I hope there's someone there that actually knows wrestling. Because, like, even if you're just going off of the fan reaction to it, I still don't know if you haven't at least watched some wrestling. I don't feel like if you know what's intrinsically bad about that Raw. But there was literally every wrestling faux pas that we have hated in the last 2+ decades since I've been watching wrestling. Remembering I was watching wrestling before I could remember wrestling. But
at least we didn't get DQs because there weren't no matches.
There weren't. I was about to say, fucking, what you gonna do? DQs on what? Fucking random talk show disqualification. I would have been happy. Get him out of the ring. Start a match. It's fucking 3 hours.
Rollins went out there for 10 minutes.
And Triple H, I feel like he had been finding a way. Raw was still more talk than wrestling, but I feel like the ratio was way better when Triple H.
They said it's been about an hour and 20 minutes. Talking, hour 20 minutes wrestling, hour and 40 talking,
which is not bad at all. If you look back on past freaking, we've had solid like 2 and a quarter to 2.5 hours of talking with freaking 45 minutes of wrestling. You know what I mean?
Raw had 32 minutes of wrestling total.
That Raw after Mania?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's even worse. I was trying to. But this is just like the bad old days of Vince being in charge. And I just think it makes it worse because he's got a fucking mustache now. And it's a weird pencil mustache. And he's got fucking collagen injections in his face and hair dye. Like, what the fuck is going on, bruh? Just take your 9-something billion dollars, go sit at home, fuck bitches that aren't working for your company that are then going to sue you for millions of dollars later, and enjoy your fucking golden years, bro. Why do you fucking intend on destroying this fucking product that we hold dear? Why?
Cause he old.
This is why people don't like fucking old people, bro, because you're bitter for no reason. He wants to be, bro. I've never in my life, I've always made the joke, and we've all heard the stories of Vince McMahon. We see the clip of him saying he wants to be the Walt Disney of wrestling. Bruh, they said when Walt Disney went in to freaking pitch Epcot, freaking, he did the exact same thing. Because you remember what Epcot was before Disneyland. It was supposed to be the town of the future.
Yeah.
But they said that Walt Disney, being older then, they said he went out, he dyed his hair, he grew this mustache, and then he went and pitched Epcot to the people because he wanted them to seem younger. He wanted to seem younger to them because it was a younger demographic. That is just exactly like I think Vince McMahon's really taking this Disney of wrestling thing, and like we're about to suffer for it. Next thing you know, he is going to be frozen underneath Titan Tower, and they're going to be freaking bringing small Cuban children down there for him to feast upon to stay alive.
He's not rich as Walt Disney though. So.
No, but that's the thing. That's what he's trying. He is. We can't say he's not close to being the Walt Disney of wrestling. There's no one else. Who else in the wrestling business has made close to as much money as Vince McMahon? Who? Nobody. You know what I mean? So as far as being the the first time we open a freaking, because a WWE theme park could happen. Let's be honest. But
it could have, but we got Endeavor instead.
Yeah.
By the way, that Ari was sucking up the Vince so much. I'm like, oh, this is strange.
I think Ari's going to come in and take the pick of the wrestlers that he thinks are going to be movie stars and rob the company blind of its talent.
Everybody know Endeavor is a talent agency, so
exactly.
They don't care. That's a good. To be honest, it might be a good chance for a lot of wrestlers to actually make moves outside.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask a semi-serious question. With Endeavor owning the UFC and the WWE, and both of these places, having discrepancies, the WWE and not so much, they take very good care of all of their fighters, all the wrestlers, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas the UFC, we're talking about pay disputes all the time and people not getting paid as much as they're worth. Do you think that Endeavor freaking owning the UFC and the WWE is just more on the way to dissuading fighters and wrestlers alike from starting their own union like they should have had a couple decades ago?
I think they'll probably treat them different. I think they'll let them run on their own and do their own thing. I don't think they're going to change, but I think Endeavor just like to be in control.
But don't you agree that wrestlers and UFC fighters should both have a union? Like, I know. I'm pretty sure WWE wrestlers actually, where Raw and SmackDown are televised, I'm pretty sure they get into the Screen Actor, like they get Screen Actors Guild credit or whatever. Somebody in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but with it being an episodic TV show, actually like one of the longest ever running weekly episodic TV shows.
They should, but I don't know if they'll ever.
I don't know. I thought I had heard some.
Zelina Vega gave up on that song.
Bruh, she gave up on that for Queen of the Ring.
Yo, she back on Twitch now.
Dakota Kai. I'm glad they let them back on Twitch, but fucking Zelina Vega was on the cusp, on the verge of doing something. And I think if Tony Khan would have been smart at that point in time, he could have found a way to fucking really actually make that work. You know what I mean? Freaking, because I do feel like now more than ever that we need an alternative to WWE. If we're about to have to ride out with Vince till the deathbed, we need an alternative. And AEW, I mean, is that alternative, but it could be so much more.
You got to take the booking pen from TK.
I know.
Yo, I saw some yesterday was a year long.
If Vince fires Gabe Sapolsky again, TK's got to hire him.
Well, I don't think he is because Jay Gabe Sapolsky was doing work yesterday with meeting talent in other indie companies.
Bro, shout out to him for his bro. I think every other week, we used to be once a week when he wasn't working for WWE. He used to do indie wrestling Twitter spaces where he would just get all these different indie wrestlers.
GCW yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday or Tuesday?
I don't know, but I know that he still does these like indie wrestling spaces on Twitter that are actually super informative, and it's just more. And he was doing all of this while he didn't have a job, and then that's why I found it so crazy that it took Gabe Sapolsky 2 years after getting fired from WWE for them to hire him back.
You know, Vince was in charge. He don't care about anybody. He's like, I write the show,
and we see how that works out.
Next up we got Ricochet and Ivar. Ricochet got the win, which makes me 100% know Triple H did book this show.
Yeah.
There's no way Vince is a big dude and Ricochet didn't get a miracle win. If he won, it was going to be some miracle. Now, he won straight up, so nah.
Ivar, I'm surprised Ivar did. If Vince was there, Ivar would have just squashed that nigga. It would have been the first. It would have been the first time Ivar ever used the goddamn bonsai drop.
He would automatically win. What was a decent match?
Ricochet is a more than decent wrestler.
Yeah, so he won. So I'm like, yep. He won straight up, finishing move, everything, not a roll up, not some trick.
Yeah, I was gonna say he got his shit in. Yeah. Shout out Brian Cage.
Next up, we got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was talking to each other in the back. Sami Zayn want to save Jey Uso.
Kevin told him these niggas more dangerous than ever. We done took the belts off of him. Roman feels like he's losing control. Sami's like, oh, I can get through, and then fucking we go into a fucking women's tag match with freaking who was it? Raquel and Liv
Shotzi
and Natalya. Shotzi and Natalya are such a bad team up, in my opinion.
They had some weird name too. I forget what it was.
I didn't even notice that, bro.
Some beware bosses. Some.
I do think that Liv and Raquel are going to be next in line for the female tag titles.
They wrestle for on Monday.
I know, but I say this because I think they know right now they need to get Becky Lynch back into the singles division.
Oh yeah,
like it's been good. Lita's came back, had her run, but I don't think Lita's gonna wrestle full time, especially not now under a brand new owner. So I think that they want to get Becky Lynch back into being the man.
Do you think Liv and Raquel could go here?
Yes, bro.
I think they need to.
They were both. What are you talking about? Liv was a heel in Riot Squad. Raquel was a heel all the way through NXT.
I think Trish needed to just turn on them.
Remember, she never smiled, nigga. We had the whole conversation about how this bitch didn't smile at all.
I think Trish needed to turn on and join them. It'll make it more interesting.
Like, bro, I do like Raquel and Liv as a tag team though.
I didn't even be bad with.
But Trish this wasn't a good match.
It was just something not to care about. It was just some way.
So it was a bathroom break.
Yeah, people was upset that women went on the card.
I just hate it because I like most of these. I've never been a Natalya fan. I'm just not. I thought her dad was the most useless part. I mean, R.I.P. to him, but come on, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, freaking was second string to freaking Brett forever and always. He was a decent wrestler, but damn, that was just, let's be honest, that I'm so pissed off about wrestling. I was just hating on a dead dude for no reason. My bad. Jim Neidhart was a hell of a guy, bro, and he really could wrestle. If you can't tell, I'm a bit emotional about freaking Vince McMahon fucking murdering wrestling for like the 5th time in my lifetime.
Next up, we had LA Knight throwing a PlayStation controller, breaking it, and Xavier Woods was the most pissed off he has been.
God, he bet, bruh, if Xavier Woods beats LA Knight, yeah, again.
LA Knight is winning Money in the Bank after losing 100 matches in a row.
That's Vince. That's
Vince. Hey, do you think Vince gonna like do it? What if they do a legit draft where Vince actually draft people to Raw?
What if Vince just drafts himself to SmackDown? And he still stays on Raw too because he's needed there. No, but I think Triple H said that to mean that I think we're actually going to get some. I think the reason we didn't have call ups from NXT on freaking rests on the Raw after Mania, I think it's because they're actually going to involve NXT in the draft again.
I think Roxanne coming up because she wasn't even in the matches for Indies belt. It's Tiffany Stratton and Cora Jade.
Because we already know they're about to break up. At least from what I can tell, they're when the draft comes, they'll be breaking up Judgment Day because they're all on Raw. So unless they let them do like one of those weird group drafts, they do that sometimes. I think that. I mean, Rhea's pretty much has to be first draft pick outside of Roman. I don't even know how it works where he has both titles. Like, is he just exempt from the draft? And it would mean the
Didn't
same
they do that
thing
with John Cena?
I don't remember. But then would you have to do the same thing for Sammy and KO since they've got two sets of titles too? But I think outside of those two things right there, I think Rhea has to be first round draft pick because she's on Raw as the SmackDown Tag Team Champion. So right now, technically, Raw and SmackDown Raw has both women's titles. And maybe they're going to do a unification angle, which is smart because I think I think the draft should be abolished. It's horrible that it's happening, but I think the women's division is so fucking good that you could just put one belt and then you could get tag teams out of it. Freaking. But that could just be me being a misogynist. They're not gonna they're not gonna unless they turn Rhea into Roman, the female Roman, or Jane Cena lives up to her name. And
Jane Cena out here gonna beat everyone.
That's Bianca Belair for everyone who doesn't.
Yo, she beat 3 women and she beat Bayley and 2 former champions.
Bruh, she beat half of the 4 horsewomen at WrestleMania. No, 3/4 of it. Bruh.
She only
Becky,
had to get,
she beat.
She only had 2 more people left.
No, she beat Becky. She beat Sasha. She beat Bayley. She only needs to beat Charlotte, and she will have beat all 4 horsewomen.
And the only thing left after that is Rhea. There's literally
Like,
no
bruh.
That's why she should have lost. There's no way.
Yeah, that's exactly why Asuka should have won. And then you can come back to that later. That is an amazing storyline all in itself, especially if she's going from an underdog and freaking she's like, I've beaten all 4 of I've beaten 3/4 of the horsewomen, but Charlotte. We know Charlotte's an amazing heel. We know Bianca can be an amazing baby face. Freaking bruh.
Speaking of amazing,
it's John Cena versus Ric Flair, only as women.
So the only thing we have, speaking of great heels, Dom got the reaction of the night,
bro. That kid has heat.
I'm like, that's the
and
most
it's not go home heat. That's not go home heat. That's not go home heat. That's legitimate wrestling fan. Why do you think? Did you notice how hard Finn was smiling when fucking Dom couldn't because Finn, the veteran that he is, I feel like even us as fans, like if you're an actual hardcore wrestling fan, you can tell when there's go away heat and just phenomenal heel heat.
Oh,
Go away heat is what Cody had in that end of freaking when they finally threw the weight belt back. You remember that shit in AEW when because we had been talking about it forever as we watched Cody be less and less over in AEW. I remember I know we talked about it at least once. Eventually, someone's gonna throw back the freaking weight belt, and then one random Dynamite, he handed the weight belt out. Threw it out there or whatever, and somebody threw that shit back. And that's when I knew. I was like, that's go away heat, bro. Like, that's not. By
the way, shout out to Finn for telling Dom what to say. I don't know if people caught that. Finn like, hey, tell him. He said it, but you heard it in the mic. You like, hey, tell him you'll be here all night if you don't shut up. Because they ain't going to stop, dog. So then Dom said, I'll be here all night. I'm like, dang, it's Finn. We heard you say it.
No, I like that he also, while the booing was going on, picked it up on the mic again. He told Dom, take his time. But like, you can't help but love shit like that. Like, that kid is a real heel right now. He really, bruh. DNA test, freaking take DNA from Eddie Guerrero's kids and compare it to Dominic Mysterio because he got heat like Eddie had when he was with China, bro.
Yo, when I'm telling you right now, Tor, when Bad Bunny and Dumb meet in the building that in Puerto Rico,
Rico.
That's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be wild.
I hope Dumb takes shots at Puerto Rico too. I hope he do.
And it's gonna be a beautiful thing because he speaks Spanish, so he'll get that kind of. He has that freaking sort of connection with that one more connection with the audience, the live audience, where he could throw out something, and us at home we don't understand it at all, but it sends the people into a freaking tizzy. You know what I mean? Same thing with Damian Priest, where I wish I was bilingual, but bro, I passed Japanese class in school by cheating off of the super nice goth girl that's sitting next to me. Shout out to her.
He has amazing, which got to the match. Rey Mysterio and Santos versus Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio. It was a good match. It wasn't crazy.
It was okay.
I think we're leaning towards Zelina versus in Puerto Rico, which will be special for Zelina.
Yeah, I think that'd be a special very moment. Good for her. And if they
I like that idea too, because it finally makes Zelina look like a big deal when she gets cheered.
But okay, if they do that, and then we're getting Dom versus
Bad Bunny and Ray.
Bad Bunny allegedly. So then do we?
Santos lost, so Ray got to be in it with him.
So freaking, are we gonna get Santos Escobar and freaking Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest? Or Finn and Damian just on manager duty during Backlash? What do you think?
I think they might do all three. It might be Ray, Santos, and Bunny versus Priest, Dominic, and Finn.
Oh, you think they might do a malt? That could be smart. So, yeah, because I don't like 8-mans, but if you take all of
them two won't be in the match.
It'd have to be. They need one more person for it to be, or Legado would it be Zelina, Santos, and Ray?
I think Zelina fighting Rhea 1-on-1 for the title.
Oh, okay.
Because she did say, "Come on, champ." So I'm like, they hinting the title.
So that would leave
Ray Santos and
Bad Bunny. Well, no. Look. Oh, you think? What about the other two members of Legado del Fantasma?
Hey, listen, they've been left out.
You don't think Bunny's ready for a singles match yet? Is what you're telling me?
You could do one. That'd be interesting. But then I don't know if you'll do the rest of them.
Because man,
but then it had to be against Damian. Because since it was Damian that power buttoned him through the table, I think Damian got to be involved. Yeah, chokeslam.
South of heaven.
So I think, yeah. By the way, shout out to Bad Bunny, but that is a highlight too from Raw. He took that. I'm like, you didn't even have to. Then he got to Coachella next week.
Real nigga shit.
I'm saying, then he go to Puerto Rico in the beginning of May. So shout out to him. And then they go into. We're gonna be traveling next month.
And like I said,
Saudi Arabia is the end of the month, and they got Puerto Rico at the beginning of the month.
How do you think? Okay, we had heard rumors of the Saudis having interest in WWE. Do you think they feel some type of way that they went with Endeavor, and now it's just sort of like, hey, Endeavor's already been charging the Saudis stupid amounts of money for when they have UFC fights over there, and now Vince is sort of getting in bed with them. So now Endeavor sort of just has a lock on like live sports entertainment or UFC. They just sort of have a monopoly on the two biggest companies.
I don't think they probably just won't. As long as they make them look good, I don't think they care. I don't think they really care. As long as you make us.
But did you watch Dynamite?
I watched. Yeah.
What did
I missed some.
I was gonna say, since we're doing wrestling in review, I know we hit on, but
and we already talked about Sammy and Jay at the beginning, so
okay.
So we done with SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Unless you got something else you want to say, because we did talk about Matt Riddle, and then
yeah. I mean, Matt Riddle is continuity. I'll give him that. I'm hoping for a bet. I'm gonna give Raw one more chance. I'm going to watch it Monday,
I would
maybe.
feel if it does the
But
same.
if it's that bad again, I'm not doing it. Freaking like I said,
Yo, here, the ratings
there's
didn't
too
pop up.
much. There's entirely too much wrestling in the world right now for me to make me subject myself to 3 hours of fucking Vince McMahon booked nonsense when I could just as easily be watching some indie wrestling freaking video. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like, or a New Japan, or freaking AEW if it comes to that. Like,
Over and under towards 55K at Wembley.
I think
It's 80K arena, the first big
it's
arena
at
they had.
80K. Okay,
This is the first
I,
arena they ever
I
did over 30K ever in
I think
AEW
no,
history.
I think over. I think over because the UK fans don't get shows all like that. You know what I mean? We saw with like Clash at the Castle, and this I think would be AEW's first overseas pay per view. It would be I don't man if they sold out Wembley 80,000 seats, bro. That would put
Dave
that
Meltzer
thing.
didn't even wasn't even confident in that. He's like, I don't
Oh,
know.
I don't think they're going to do that. But I'm saying if you
That's
did,
WrestleMania
that
level.
would put that all. I would say that's WrestleMania numbers. That's exactly what I was getting to. But I think maybe a little bit of
Like
yeah,
Dave's
a
like
little
that. I
bit
think
maybe.
Dave
I
put
think 30
60K.
to 40. Oh, okay. I think 30 to 40,
Now their
45.
biggest, I think their biggest show was like 35K
I,
ever.
I think 45. I don't know if they'll go. Hopefully they do. I will be watching. Unfortunately for us, since
I'm
it'll be
rooting
in the
for it.
UK, and since it's going to be in the UK, you know it's going to be freaking at some random time in the afternoon, bro.
Yeah. Let's get in this AEW show. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Over and under 50K. We had Juice Robinson, Ricky Starks. This one Jay White came out. I ain't gonna
Made
hold
his
you.
debut.
Yeah, he made his debut. Well, technically it's not his debut, but it's his debut
He made
officially.
his debut as a signed.
Yeah.
Did you know they just now signed Sky Blue as fucking long as she's been there?
I thought she'd been to. I'm like,
I thought that, bro.
you
I
better be
thought
glad
they.
Triple H. I bet Triple H thought that too, because he would have been stuck up like he did Corey J.
I was gonna say, cause bruh, I thought she got signed right either before or after Punk's debut
I think WWE
originally in
probably
Chicago,
did
cause
too.
she's from Chicago too.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think.
she debuted like the week after Punk had debuted, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna give another kid
Did
from.
she get a title shot?
Yeah, she's fought Jade.
She wouldn't sign when she got a title shot. What? If I knew that,
Bruh,
I would have known she wasn't gonna win. Like, she didn't even
this is
sign.
a little future hopping. Next week we're getting Anna JAS versus the Dark Princess of the House of Black, Julia Hart. Man,
She
I
ain't
knocked
scared of them
Julia
two.
Hart down in a heartbeat,
So
bruh.
she is not scared because she has
But
a fat
but the longest
ass.
match, bruh, the longest match Julia Hart has. I think they said if you combine all her matches together, she's barely got over 7 minutes.
Oh my god!
Like she spent a
This on
lot of
TV?
time as a squash. No, this you got to think before she got to TV. Remember, she was with the Varsity Blondes, and she got jobbed out on Dark all the time. Whenever someone was building up to challenge Jade or freaking challenge somebody else just to lose, they would. That's why she got so lucky when they put her in with the House of Black. I honestly think they should have left Anna Jay with the Dark Order.
She knows
She
she
had a
can't because she got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
Yeah, but man, you think she'll do better? Cause like you remember the footage we saw of her and freaking Britt Baker, and Britt Baker I think of as if not a veteran, damn close to being one. We've seen her put on some of the best female matches in the last few years,
True.
but Julia Hart is not Britt Baker. And this is going to be on TV. This isn't going to be some house show. They're both still very green. And we saw how freaking she looked in that video of freaking her versus uh, Britt Baker. Like, they can't do that on live TV. That will be. And they got battle. Oh, Rampage is going on right now, and Battle of the Belts is on after this. I think that's where that Anna JAS and freaking Julia Hart match is happening.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna watch Battle of the Belts just because it brings me back to the watching wrestling at midnight. Like you remember when freaking back in like the early 2000s where wrestling didn't, when it was on Sci-Fi Channel, didn't come on until like 12:30. Or freaking where I lived, ECW actually used to come in on one of the random channels at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock on Thursdays. But
I forgot to talk about this on Raw, but they did that. That was a nice callback from when Jay grabbed him from doing the thumb to Sammy.
Yeah,
that was a dope. And then the callback to Jay.
Shows Jay's got a heart.
Yeah, but then he super kicked him in the face.
Crush. Yeah.
So
you know they're making it like that Samoan Spike from freaking. How do Samoans get the most like some of the most lackluster moves ever over? Like the People's Elbow, the Samoan Spike, freaking.
Technically, if I do the Samoan Spike to you in real life, you probably almost choke to death.
In what world am I not ducking my chin down to where you can't fucking shove your thumb into my throat, bro?
That's why he grabbed your hair.
Bruh, shut the fuck up.
All you gotta do is like stop.
What's your excuse for the People's Elbow?
I have no excuse. Rock just did some shit. You know,
The
Rock said that was a joke. He said
like,
his finisher was a joke with somebody in Nation of Domination.
Somebody in creative. Oh,
it wasn't. This is the Rock people elbow. What he said though? He said it was somebody. He was saying somebody. How the People's Elbow started. He said it was a joke, and then people just went with it. So he's like, I bet I can get it over. It's also how he did Stone Cold Stun. He's like, I bet I can make the craziest stun ever.
Yeah, he's like, I'll sell that shit to the moon.
Let's see, what did he say? How was the People's Elbow made? Survivor Series debut. Let's see. I'm looking for it. His original signature move. In an interview with Greg James, BBC, Triple H opened about being a receiving end of the first People's Elbow. Triple H explained that there wasn't even a name for the move at the time, and it was just a spot the Rock called on the fly in the ring one time to make his opponent break character and laugh.
You know who's got the best elbow drop?
And he did it to break the Undertaker, because the Undertaker was in the ring because Triple H the first one to. Because you remember they used to have a period for like he said for a year that everybody tried to.
Break they were trying to get him to break in the ring.
Even with Stone Cold.
But take a Rooney.
And then Stone Cold in the ambulance were trying to get the Undertaker to break. So they spent a year trying to get the Undertaker to break. So the People's Elbow was made to make the Undertaker break. And then it just became his finisher.
Signature. The rock bottom is the finisher.
Yeah, so it randomly became his signature. He used to have that little move where he put you on the shoulder.
Yeah, it was just a one-man, what's it called? Jim Cornette actually made the move with the flapjack.
Yeah, that used to be his.
You know who has, in my opinion, the best just standing elbow drop, not jumping off some shit?
Snoop Dogg.
Jim Cornette. Go back and watch some old Smoky Mountain Wrestling or anything like that. Whenever Jim gets involved, bruh, the Midnight Express or the Midnight Express after they've beaten up one of the guys that haven't beat him, and Jim just comes in a pink suit, bruh, and this nigga gets lift with that fucking elbow drop, and he was fat back then too, but he has a nice ass elbow drop.
Yeah, but back on AEW, we had this Juice Robinson and Jay White came out. Somebody said it was a crazy pop. I listened to it again. I'm like, I heard a lot bigger pop. It was okay.
It was a pop, and if you watch the show for any amount of time, you know I'm a big fan of King Switch. I mean,
but I ain't gonna lie. WWE dropped the ball. He would be a star in WWE. AEW, he's just gonna be another dude that can wrestle. Good.
Yeah, but.
They don't have personality in AEW. I'm sorry. I might be like.
If we go forward and this Raw after Mania is the last Raw that Vince touches, you know what I mean? They just see it and let Triple H book from All Out. Jay White's kicking himself hard. Because you sign in 2-year agreements with Tony, at least.
It's a multi-year deal, so I'm assuming it's 2 or 3. It ain't no crazy long thing, according to from what I saw. Maybe it is, and they just said it. But I was like, man, they said WWE kind of lost things because upper management, but Triple H and William Regal wanted him. But Vince came back and probably like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
The thing is, he's still younger. Jay White's still in his 20s. He could get out in 2 years and he could still end up in the WWE.
True.
But
and hopefully by then, and Vince's contract will be up by then.
Listen, if he's in AEW, which he is, and I don't get fucking Jay White versus Adam Cole, or
he going against the Young Bucks the whole time.
Wait, no, we already got Jay White versus Adam Cole. If I don't get the rematch of Jay White versus Kenny Omega, and then you can do Jay White and Juice against, like, why do we have all this? Is Tony just setting up the war of the Bullet Clubs? He's got all these different people he's signing that were from different parts of time in the Bullet Club. You got Juice, who's
toward the end, because
you got the old Juice and Switch.
WWE got all the originals.
Because you got to remember, Jay White's the dude who took the Bullet Club from Kenny Omega when Kenny Omega left to go to AEW.
Yeah,
he's the one that took the Bullet Club away from him.
Yeah, WWE got the old niggas from the Bullet Club, and AEW got the young.
And then the Matt and Nick and Hangman, they were of the last they were the generation that came before, like Chris Bay, Austin Ace, Juice Robinson, freaking
I ain't gonna lie, I want to see Chris Bay in NXT.
Jay
I think
White.
that'd be fun.
We've also and then still in New Japan, because you got to think the one person that's still in New Japan who's been Bullet Club since day fucking one is freaking Bad Luck Fale, the underboss, bruh. Bad Luck Fale is one of the original founding members of the Bullet Club and has fucking been there ever since. He's the Bullet Club OG, and freaking that nigga ain't even the underboss anymore. That nigga is the godfather of the Bullet Club, in my opinion. Like, Finn's got a whole new faction in WWE, but Bad Luck Fale has been rocking with the Bullet Club since freaking 2006, 7, some shit like that. But okay, we got Juice Robinson and Jay White come out.
Yeah, they had that. They beat up Ricky Starks. If it's Jay White versus Ricky Starks, that could be amazing. If Juice involved, I don't really care.
Oh, wait, bruh, on Battle of the Belts tonight. This sucks so bad, but this match sucks because we know how it's gonna go. But I'm so happy it's happening on AEW television, even if it is at like freaking midnight or 11 o'clock. But bruh, we're gonna get Jade versus Billy Starks.
I saw that back and forth on Twitter. It was interesting.
I know, bruh. Billy's getting good. She's getting good with it. Bruh, tell me it wouldn't shock the fucking world. What if Billy Starks beats Jade for the TBS title?
She ain't on the contract. They ain't doing that.
Oh, you're right. Damn it. She's getting ready to graduate, though. She's getting ready to graduate.
Have she turned 18 yet? Did she just turn 18? But they can't. I don't think she can sign an official contract at 18.
I was gonna say she is 18. She's just still in school.
Cause I know that what's her name? Thea Hale couldn't sign with NXT for like 3 months until she turned 18. So I don't.
But I just wanted to say that anybody watching, let's go watch that match. Shout out Billy Stark. She's trained in my good old home state of Indiana.
Yo, TK, before we do this and get finished the show, TK, please stop booking them. The second you get a good story, why do they not be on TV for like a month?
Because, bruh, he treats all of his wrestlers like they're friends. So he's trying to give all of his friends equal play time so nobody feels bad about having to be on Darker Elevation all the time.
Listen, this is why I want to say this.
Hold on, wait, let me get this out. All it does is freaking chop up the freaking storylines, and then we end up forgetting about it because you move it on to the next one. You'll have a match about it. It'll get taken off the burner. Another story match will replace it. It'll get taken off the other one, and you're expecting us to just get it in pieces, and then it all just culminates to these random pay-per-view matches.
Listen, Willa Yuta a year ago yesterday was made into a star, and he wasn't on TV for 2 months after that. And I'm like,
and he's
what?
He's lost out on that because of it.
Wardlow.
He just lost but he just lost the pure title, but he lost it to Katsuyori Shibata. So, bruh, what if did TK sign Katsuyori Shibata?
I think so.
Bruh.
He signed the ROH, ain't
Yeah, I don't know if he signed he's a pure champion. I'd hope he was signed. Damn.
I don't think they give him belt. I don't think they give him the belt to somebody that he can sign with the belt. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I was just saying, even if it's a slight chance.
But no, New Japan would have had the thing over Katsuyori Shibata. So
yeah, I'm just saying that too.
You don't Kenny's a AEW contracted champion, but he's the United States heavyweight champion in New Japan.
Ain't Brian Cage like working out of contract right now?
I thought he was on ROH with the Embassy. They won the 6-man tag.
He is. He working without a contract, which is interesting. By the way, John Moxley did too, but John Moxley wasn't going back to WWE. He hate.
Nope. He hates for the passion.
He
made that nigga wear a gas mask and take a shot in his ass.
Even though, by the way, that's the only time his character ever changed, and he hated that one time. He's like, never change me again. I am forever original Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
My character will never change.
It's so funny because think his actual name is John Good. Think if that was his wrestling name. You don't want to mess with John Good, bro.
I think I can make that work. Next up, we had a match. I'm on casting the best friend versus House of Black. It was a dope match. I didn't feel nothing though. I ain't gonna lie.
I enjoyed it though. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a good match.
I did enjoy it. I love that we're actually using. If you're gonna have 6-man tag team championships, and you've got all those trios, we said it for a whole year before they even brought these belts out. They needed them, but it's good to see them. I think that the House of Black should get a decent little run from these. It ain't got to be no 250 plus days. You know what I mean? But at least give them 100 days.
Andrade says contract is up soon. Jamie Hayter versus Riho. Jamie Hayter's a star.
This might be one of the first ever Riho matches that I actually enjoyed.
Jamie Hayter is amazing. They milking her like they did Britt Baker.
Best female wrestler in AEW, bro.
Tori, they milking her right now like they did Britt Baker.
Bro, her finisher is called the Haterade, and it's just a big old short arm lariat. You saw her turn Riho inside out with that shit, and then hit her with 2 of them. So show little Miss Doily wrist some respect, I guess.
Jamie Hayter's
Riho's just comically small to me. I sound like Jim Cornette, but she is just super little. But she is Kenny Omega's prodigy. Her and Takeshita, but Takeshita could actually go somewhere. Riho can go somewhere in Japan. She could be one of the biggest wrestlers ever in Japan, I do believe. But Takeshita, tell me you couldn't see Konosuke Takeshita as the TNT champion.
If Jay ever lose, that belt,
no, the TNT, not the TV.
Oh, you talking about?
I'm not talking. Yeah, no, I said Konosuke Takeshita. Freaking, he's another one.
I was for some reason thinking you talking about Riho. But yeah.
No, I was because him and Riho are both Kenny's prodigies from Japan. Kenny trained both of them himself. He trained Riho and Takeshita. I do believe. I know for a fact he trained Riho. I'm pretty sure they said that he helped train Takeshita. But man, and Riho was the first ever AEW Women's Champion.
Yeah, and now we have Jericho trying to force to get the spotlight from the Acclaim, who are one of the best-selling merch sales in AEW. So he's trying to get in on that. So I see you. Shout out to you. And then we had MJF Day. It was interesting. MJF cut one of the promo. I know people love. Listen. I'm tired of MJF origin villain stories.
I sort of like. No, I sort of like it because it's the classic villain trope. Like they keep on telling you the "woe is me" over and over again.
And then he sung, what's it, "Pennies from Heaven."
But do you think I want to ask you this question because, like I said, me and you, we talk wrestling. We have our disagreements about certain stuff in wrestling, but it's always good to get the other perspective. Do you think you can reasonably put the belt on one of the other four pillars before you put it on Bryan Danielson?
No.
Okay.
Who you? Which one?
That's what I'm asking.
You can't put it on Sammy.
You
I'm
can't put
sorry.
it on Sammy. You can't put it on Jungle Boy. You can't put it on Darby. But Bryan Danielson's right here, waiting to be finally crowned one of the AEW champions.
He used to beat up Kenny Omega every week.
But
Then we're speaking of one of the four pillars. We had Sammy Guevara versus Commander. He cut a promo on MJF too.
it was a good little. Bruh, they botched a couple. They did botch a couple things, but bruh, it's a lucha. That's a lucha style wrestling, and botches are gonna happen. It just is what it is. I don't even hate on them for it. That's literally part of the style.
Blackpool Comeback Club fighting amateurs, which is basically everybody that include AEW.
Amateurs, amateurs,
I do like Bryan
amateurs.
Danielson as a heel. He
But do
always
you like amateurs? Amateurs. Amateurs. How do you feel about amateurs?
it is very interesting. And for some reason, I think Bryan Danielson kind of took a shot at Gunther. Because Gunther, like, I am the epitome of pro wrestling. That's what he said in the interview. And he like, looking at this weekend, we might be the only good wrestlers in the United States. I'm like, yeah,
It was. You
you
think it
trying to
was
set
right
that up
after?
when you go back home in
Well,
a
you got
year,
to
huh?
think it was after that Raw after Mania. You know what I mean?
I think it
They
was
saw.
more of a
We
shot
all
at Gunther.
saw how bad it was.
He
And
said this
Brian did.
weekend, though. He did say this weekend. He
Yeah.
didn't say this
Well.
week.
Yeah, but this weekend, because we all thought Cody was going to win the belt and he didn't, because Vince grew a mustache.
Then we had the main event. The Guns lost. A waste of time. They had many men, and FTR should have had many men.
But
So we don't
oh,
understand.
that would have been fire, but that's not their style. But
It
man,
fit though, because it was like it's a shot to end their career. Many men wanted death.
no, but I feel like the Guns, it works for them not just because their names are the Guns, but because how everybody talked about their freaking. Everyone was talking about how their dad got them to where they were and this and that. So.
Hey, listen, the only people that need, I told y'all in the group that the only people who should ever play mini men is Roman Reigns as a troll when after he beat somebody's favorite, and then Vince McMahon because everybody
Or
really wished death on
definitely, yeah, bruh. If Vince comes out to 50 Cent, bruh, he get the clap, not the STD one.
I would be like, oh, listen, that's the best troll of my life. Vince, you got it.
Mini man, bruh, he does the strut out to it, and he's lip syncing with it.
Well, I need him in like a wrestling crowd too. He can't be in a
No,
regular
yeah,
one to cheer
bruh,
him. I need
and
somebody to
think,
boo him when it come out.
but
I
no,
need
think
boos to many
he
men when he
brings
run.
back the do rag with the mustache. May do rag mustache, freaking. Oh my lord, hair dye, but you won't even see it because it'll be under the do rag. But cheek fillers.
NXT was really solid this week.
I've heard some good things. Freaking,
Dragon
like
Lee versus Nathan Frazier. For
I
y'all that don't know, again, Nathan Frazier is Seth Rollins' protege.
yeah, but
Protege.
I saw a clip of that match. I saw a clip of Noam Dar showed up, right?
Yeah.
I loved Noam Dar in NXT UK. I just think it's kind of lame him showing up with the Heritage Cup. Like, how long have you had that shit? The last time there was a Heritage Cup championship was 2021. It's been 2 years. He just had the trophy at the crib for 2 years. And just nobody held a tournament for it.
He's like, hey man, y'all forgot about this? He's like, Shawn Michaels gonna find a way to put one of his finishes on it.
Oh Lord.
Dijak
Winner
beat.
winner of the trophy is gonna get a title shot.
They should.
I heard
Dijak beat Odyssey
I
Jones.
heard we got a heel turn from Braun Breaker.
Yes, I think they're trying to make Melo a face and Brown gonna be a heel before he go to the main roster. I think he's gonna lose one more time, and then he's gonna come in the
round
draft.
draft pick you think Braun Breaker is gonna be?
He's gonna be early. Him and Roxanne gonna be early. Cause you know how they always do the little, oh my god, the youth future. I think Brian and Roxanne gonna be early.
Do you send Roxanne to Raw and
I think Roxanne going to SmackDown and Brian going to Raw.
Oh,
cause I heard Fox really liked Roxanne. That's from the report I saw.
They could both go to SmackDown.
That'd be interesting. Axiom had a match. It was pretty good. Wesley and Axiom.
But if we are okay, let's go to finish this, and then I have a good way for us to end it.
Yeah, and then we had Cora Jade come back to attack Indy with Tiffany Stratton. I'm like, listen, Cora Jade, Tiffany Stratton in championship picture. I like it. I don't care.
If she drops the belt in the next couple of weeks,
she's going. I think she is. I think either Cora or Indy going. I think Cora turn right because you want Cora on the main roster soon, right?
Yeah. And Indy should be there already too. She'd add a little bit more size to the division.
And then maybe Tiffany Stratton end up beating Cora Jade when she go up too, just so because I know what they're doing. They're just trying to get the belt on some people just before they leave.
Yeah, but
I think that what Indy is. I think Cora does
though. She was right there with the way. I don't care whether you liked the way or you hated the way. It was a moment of people doing the best they could in a clown shoes era, and they still put on some decent matches.
Listen, all I know is Austin Theory was looking at Scarlett's titties the whole time and said, whoa.
Austin Theory versus Karrion Kross banger.
It was. Hey, man, I need to figure. Hey, Triple H, you got to figure out how to make Johnny wrestle like he do on NXT. Because I don't know what happened. I think the kid changed him. I think since he had the kid, he's not as. Because I don't know what NXT. He come to NXT. He's like, I'm showing up. He go back to the main roster. They even give him time. It don't be the same.
We need DIY still, bro. We need them more than more than ever with all the turmoil going on. That would raise your hardcore fans' spirits for real. If we got a DIY reunion,
true,
and they could have a sick tag team run. Whenever I'm playing 2K, I always add them to the tag team roster, bro. I be putting all the belts on fucking DIY.
DIY would be amazing, as Kevin Owens.
But the question is, freaking Tommaso Ciampa's been out for so long.
Hopefully he's close. I know he had a similar problem to Randy Orton with his back, right? I don't think it was bad as Randy's, but I think he had like a similar. He had that surgery on his back.
It sucks because Ciampa's getting up there in age. He's not exactly. He spent so much time on NXT and gave us so many amazing matches that he might have blew his wad, so to speak.
Hopefully Vince not running Raw so we can get some good stuff. If not, we're gonna get things that don't make sense and random rivalries and people fighting each other for no reason.
What if Vince thinks that this is just heat? The whole fire Vince thing. What if he thinks it's just heat?
Maybe he's 80 years old, so he probably
he's 77.
It's almost 80. That's close enough.
True.
With the mustache, he 80. I think the mustache 83 here.
Bro, I'm telling you, you put a fucking top hat on that man. That is freaking the dude from Rocky and Bullwinkle. I can never remember Boris from Rocky and Bullwinkle. The nigga with the top hat and the freaking.
Swerve has merged with the Embassy.
Oh, because the mogul affiliates were not going nowhere.
Hey, at least they look a little less skinheadish.
Oh, are you watching Rampage?
No, I'm just putting what's the name up? I'm just watching highlights on Twitter.
Oh.
So I'm just seeing what's happening live on Twitter. I ain't watching Rampage going on. Hey, I literally seen.
That's why I was surprised. I was like, "You watching Rampage?"
Listen, I saw somebody.
The belts are starting now, though.
Yeah, we about to get also Tori.
So we made it. We made an hour out of this. Vince hasn't killed us yet, folks.
It's getting close.
I guess we can still be bringing you the wrestling reviews. I think we just do this format. I think from now, I'll talk to you afterwards.
Yeah. I do appreciate y'all. SmackDown was it saved
What was the main
show
event on AEW?
on AEW.
Yeah, because I mean NXT.
It was Brian attacking.
Oh, that was the okay.
Yeah, I was just going through the NXT page and going through in order I saw it in, which one got the most views or whatnot. And shout out to Corey J.
Is Cameron
Listen, all I gotta say is
Grimes made his appearance yet?
no, he's supposed to be on SmackDown. So he had a dark match on SmackDown, and
Ooh.
according to all the people that work there, if you get a dark match on SmackDown, you on main roster now. So I guess he's coming in the draft.
Do that with main event before they canceled it. Like before NXT was a thing, when they were bringing people from like Florida Championship Wrestling or Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW, freaking shout out Rip Rogers, freaking another man from Indiana, freaking one of the best wrestling teachers in the world. He trained Pat McAfee.
One thing I do want y'all to know is let's get my show last week, and I think I was right. The reason they didn't beat Roman last week is because I don't think they knew how to book after. And I feel like they still carrying on with the bloodline storyline.
I don't even think it's so much how to book it. They don't know how to book it after. I feel like they don't know how much Vince is going to want into doing with the booking.
So, and then they know Vince will let Roman do what he wants, so they're like, we might can preserve something. Hey, listen, Roman said in the interview, Vince don't. Hey, listen, I tell Vince if I ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. So he did. True. He did. He's like, listen, I'll go to Hollywood right now.
Like I said, the speech he gave afterwards, it didn't sound like creative wrote it, and like I hope he's right. I hope he gives us filet mignon, but this can't draw all the way out until WrestleMania 40.
I don't think he control who they want to beat him, but other than that, I think he controlled the storyline, right? I think they still be like, hey, this dude's gonna beat you. And like, cool. I just have to make it work. He tried it. He tried his hardest to make it work. By the way, one thing I do want to say before we get off is I respect about Roman Reigns as a heel. He sticks to his character. Like if you acknowledge him, O'Shea Jackson,
you fuck with him.
You acknowledge me, I acknowledge you. I'm like, that's one thing I always wonder about heels. Like, why do you hate the people that like you? That's weird.
That's old, but you gotta think that's the old school mentality from wrestling, where you gotta think these niggas were villains. They didn't care if you liked them or not. They did not like anybody.
Well, I guess Roman's story makes sense because he likes to be acknowledged. So if you acknowledge him, it fits his character. Like,
yeah.
By the way,
it is hilarious. So over that he's like technically a tweener as long as he's not up against Sammy or Cody.
This is my man said. That was so funny. And then he sniffed the dude in the front row with weed in the. I'm like, Roman really don't care what y'all got going on. Brock and Cody all focused. Roman like, I smell weed on you. That's you. I'm like, bro, you got to show the dude. Like, listen, I'm in God mode. That shit. I'm in God mode right now. I smell weed.
That's what would happen to me. Front row, they'd be like, this dude. He come out. You suck. I had Matt Riddle try to kick it afterwards. I'd be like, no, bro, you just got out the hab. I can't help you.
Like that whole show, the most things I enjoyed was Dom and Bad Bunny segment, and then Roman doing random stuff while everybody being serious.
Bruh, that shit, for people who don't watch wrestling, I don't think they understand how amazing it is that he got those boos. Because freaking, I saw one little tweet in there that freaking they had said Finn just sitting there smiling because he doesn't know what to do with how much they hate him. And it's like some AEW Stan account, but it's like, no, bro, he's smiling because this is how you know you have a real connection with the audience. They actually see you.
Yeah. And shout out to Dom for actually doing some. Drew McIntyre was pulled from SmackDown, so I don't know what's going on.
Hopefully he's not injured.
Bailey was pulled from Raw because of Vince McMahon. He came back and saw Bailey backstage.
Is Pam about to get punished because she never gave Vince the yams?
No, she friends with Sasha, and Vince finally came back in the building. What is she doing here?
He's like, Sasha left. You better run to New Japan with Mercedes Moné, bitch.
Like, you know, he ain't been to the show to see her, but he finally realized she was done because he ate it. And like, why is
And
she
he's
here?
like, and you know, he's extra salty about it because he's like, I
bro,
gave
they
her
won't
time.
mention her, bro. They won't mention her.
I gave her time off when she asked for it.
You
Remember,
know,
she took
they
like that
won't.
3.
They mentioned Cesaro the other day. They won't mention Sasha Banks. They take her out of the championship women.
You
They
don't think?
won't.
Do you think that she's done with WWE?
She's probably not. Probably when Vince leaves, 100% she probably maybe, unless she just do film, then she might be. But Tori, they showed Bianca winning and didn't show Bianca winning WrestleMania with 37 and didn't show Sasha. You know how crazy that is?
That's crazy.
They edited Sasha out in the corner. They edited her out. You went to New Japan. You think I forgot? I've been waiting to get back to put you in place.
What do you think about her triple threat match with AZM and the other girl?
I just hope the third girl can keep up.
AZM is so fucking fast, it's not funny.
That's what I'm saying. I hope the other girl can keep up with Sasha and her. If she can, it's gonna be amazing.
Wrestling's had good luck with multi-man matches lately. They've been more hit than miss, surprisingly enough. Though I'm never gonna not enjoy a good old one-on-one or a tag team action. I don't even mind 6-man that much.
Yeah, they've been hitting so. Outside of the one on ROH when they almost killed each other for no reason. But
Dante Martin breaking his ankle like that, you never should have. Why would you take a Canadian destroyer off the top of stacked up tables through another stack of tables? Why? Why would you?
I don't think we got this today, so I gotta do it for Joe. Baller Friday. Shout out to Joe, man. We gotta let's get out of here, y'all. People like they just rammed it. Now we are. Watch us on Overall 99 Entertainment. Next week I'll probably put it on the end screen after this show. I'll put on the end screen, edit, and then send y'all to that channel. So me and Tori will be on that show on Wednesday. A lot of different a lot of live podcasts gonna be over there. This will probably be, I don't know, we might do another live podcast on Friday, do 2 live podcasts, but then this review will come after SmackDown from now on. So I know people looking at it before SmackDown. This will come after SmackDown. So
we'll give you the whole week's worth in a simple breakdown. And when I say the whole week's worth, I'm just talking the big 3. If we can stomach Raw, we'll talk about AEW, and then we'll end it with the SmackDown, which will be freshest in our mind.
Yeah, so that's it. And SmackDown, I'll assume this is gonna be the best show.
Of course, if pay-per-views happen in the weekends before that, of course, we'll cover them too.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Tori, where can they find you?
You can find me at AfroComedy765 on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as well. I don't be on there all like that though. But of course, you can catch me on Overall 99 Media, being an Overall 99 scumbag. Like my esteemed CEO friend here just said, casual conversations on Wednesday. And you're here right now. So, just fan wrestling on Friday now. New time right after SmackDown. So 10 o'clock. Be ready. We're going to give you the whole week's worth.
And if you stay this far, the end screen is right here. So you see Overall 99 Entertainment. If you rock it, I mean, you rock with me and Tori. Join us on Casual Conversation on that channel. Make it make sense on that channel. Do you hear me? Probably on that channel. We're gonna try. That's Gossip channel. So that's the channel. And you might not know us, but soon you will. But until then, it's
who are these